not a fan of zombie movies, but since it's spooky season, I thought I'd review one, and I have to say, yeah, this is probably the best zombie movie I've ever seen. Already saying that. Hey everybody, welcome to another review, and today I will be reviewing 28 Days Later. Yes, 28 Days Later, this came out in 2002, and was written by Alex Garland, who he wrote this book called The Beach, who the director, and I'll get to him in a minute, the director did the movie too, and he's also wrote some other films that same director directed. Um, and he's also a director himself, Alex Garland. He directed Ex Machina, and I think the other one's called Annihilation, I believe. And I haven't seen either one of those films. I have Ex Machina on my list, so maybe someday I'll watch and review it. But yeah, it was written by Alex Garland and directed by Danny Boyle, who is a director I like, but mostly because he directed one of my all-time favorite films, Trainspotting. But yeah, the same director of Trainspotting and Trainspotting 2, which I've reviewed for the channel. Go check that review out if you haven't already. Trainspotting 2, that is. And he also directed films such as Slumdog Millionaire, 127, was it 127 Hours, something like that, with James Franco, yeah, and Steve Jobs, and Yesterday. So yeah, this is actually my fourth Danny Boyle film that I've seen after Trainspotting 1 and 2 and Slumdog Millionaire. I haven't seen 127 Hours or Steve Jobs or Yesterday, but I think I have all three of those on my list, and I might check out some of his other films too, probably. So yeah, okay, so this I wanted to watch it. Like I said in the intro, I'm not a big horror movie fan, but I wanted to watch this movie because well, for one thing, I heard that this movie was like shot like on a camcorder or something like that. And I saw like clips of it, and it looked really interesting. So I thought, that sounds kind of cool. I might check that out. And then I heard that it was directed by Danny Boyle, and I already knew who he was because after I saw Trainspotting, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely had to watch it now. And yeah, I watched it last night, and I already said in the intro, but yeah, this is probably the best zombie movie I have ever seen. Now, I know there's probably going to be some people, they're saying it's not really a zombie movie, it's just a movie about people who are infected. Which is technically true because these quote unquote zombies aren't really like, the undead, they're not those kind of zombies, but they are somewhat kind of zombies because, they get infected and they completely change, so I consider them as zombies, even though they're not the undead zombies, but still, but yeah, I have to say this is the best zombie movie I've ever seen. And I like comedy zombie films like Zombieland and Shaun of the Dead, but this is the best one I've ever seen. And yeah, and what makes it really good is that like it doesn't really focus on the zombies. That's what I really liked about it. It focuses more on the characters, and I like it whenever like horror movies do that. And since Danny Boyle, this is like his only horror film, so of course I would probably like this movie because this is like I even saw it on the Wikipedia page. It even says that this is a horror drama film. And another horror drama film I can think of, which I actually really enjoy as well, is A Quiet Place. And I liked that movie because it's a horror movie, but it has drama in it, and so I really enjoyed that film, and yeah, I really liked this film as well. So I all right. Actually, I didn't even say the cast. I'm sorry. The cast, it stars Cillian Murphy, Naomi Harris, Megan Burns, and Brendan Gleeson. Okay, I'm sorry, I completely forgot about that. But Cillian Murphy, I've seen in the Dark Knight trilogy. That was the only thing I ever seen him in, and Brendan Gleeson, I know him as Mad Eye Moody from the Harry Potter movies, of course. Big Harry Potter fan that I am. Although I have to say though, I didn't recognize him in this movie. Like I didn't even realize that was him until after I watched the movie, and I actually did know he was in this movie, but I kind of forgot about it. And then when I looked it up, I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, that's him." And also Naomi Harris, I didn't recognize her, but I actually did know her because she was in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So yeah, I did know who she was, but I didn't recognize her either. But yeah. Anyways, I guess I kind of talk about the plot. Although I already said it's about infected zombies, but so yeah, this movie, I guess it's kind of hard to explain what it is without spoiling, but I'll try my best. So it starts out well. Okay, it does have like a different opening. It doesn't open with what I'm about to say, but there's another opening. I won't say what happens in that because that probably will spoil the film. But after that scene, it says 28 days later, which of course is the title, But it says that, and then you see this guy who's played by Cillian Murphy. The character's name is Jim. He wakes up in a hospital from a coma, and no one is there. The place is, completely empty. And then once he gets out of there, he get out of the hospital. He knows that all of London, which is where it takes place in London, England, all of London is just completely empty. This place, there's like no one there at all. But then he finds some zombies in this church, and then he gets saved by two people, and he goes with them to survive, and that's about all I can say. And they run into some other people as well, and it's of course it is kind of your typical survivor survivor zombie movie. It is that, yes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I could say without spoiling, But kind of your typical zombie film in a way when it comes to that is the plot. But like I said, these zombies are different. They're infected. They're basically just humans, but they're infected. But yeah, that's basically all I can say about the plot. So anyways, I don't really have a whole lot of negatives for this film because, like I said, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I had this. I'll go ahead and say the negatives before the positives, I guess, because I have more positives than negatives. I wasn't a fan of the editing, honestly. Like I kind of felt like some of the edits were kind of a little weak, and I kind of blame it too. I kind of blame the editing on the reason why I wasn't really following the story. And I've said this a million times before in the past, but like I have the worst attention span in the world, so it was kind of hard to keep up with this film, with the story that is. Like right after this movie ended, I had to look up the plot on Wikipedia because I was confused, kind of. Well, kind of. I think I got most of it, but there were some parts I still didn't really understand. But yeah, I kind of blame that on the editing because I kind of felt like, I don't know, some things were kind of happening a little bit too fast, and I just wasn't really picking up on it, very well because it just happened too fast. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of the editing. And there was an actor in this film, actress, I should say, Megan Burns, who I'll go and say she plays this I don't know, maybe a 12-year-old or something like that. She's a young girl, and her dad is played by Brendan Gleeson. And I wasn't really a fan of her acting, really. All the other actors were great, and I'll get to them in a minute, but I wasn't a fan of her acting. Her line delivery was okay. It wasn't too bad of her line delivery, and I liked her character too. Her character was pretty good, but like I don't know, her acting though is a little off, and I don't really. Well, okay, I don't want to say this certain part because it will spoil the film. So, but there was a certain part in the movie where I was like, yeah, her acting wasn't really that good. Um, but yeah, I didn't really care for her, but yeah, apart from the editing and and her acting, this movie's great, and I do have more positives. So I will say the direction by Danny Boyle is really good. I can already see that Danny Boyle is a good director. Although I think some of his films get gets mixed reviews. Like I know that movie Yesterday, it didn't do well at all. I think I've heard mostly negative reviews, but I do have it on the list. I just want to check it out anyways because the idea of the movie sounds interesting, So I'll check it out anyways. And also that movie The Beach, I think I hear gets like mixed reviews also. Which I said earlier, the writer of this movie actually wrote the book to that, Alex Garland. Yeah, and that has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. I might check it out just because of him, because I am a big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio. His movies do get mixed reviews. But of what I've seen so far, he is a good director. Even though I've only seen 4 of his films so far. I need to rewatch Slumdog Millionaire. I own it, and I've only seen it once, and I thought it was a good movie, but I wasn't like a big fan of it. But, I'll have to check it out again sometime. And I want to see some of his other films too. But yeah, his directing was really good. And the cinematography, which, like I said, I think was like shot like on a camcorder or something like that. Yeah, I really like it. Now, I know there's some people that don't like it. They say like this movie doesn't look very good because of that. Well, yeah, okay, to be fair, it doesn't look great, no, but I still like it anyways because it's unique, especially for a movie in 2002. This movie looks like it came from the 70s. Like, it looks like it's a low-budget 70s horror film. But it came from 2002. That's what's really cool. And also, it kind of looks like a movie that you would like the low quality. Like, I even heard some people in reviews, like, they said that they even watch it, like, on Blu-ray or 4K and stuff like that. It still looks the same. It still looks like it's just, like, a very low quality looking film. It looks like it's a VHS. But, I don't have any problems with it, honestly. I think that was an interesting choice of him wanting to do that. I'm not really sure why he wanted to do it, but I guess just to be artistic, I guess. But I liked it. I thought it was really interesting. Some of the shots were like kind of hard to see, but like, don't ever watch this movie during the day. That would it would be better to watch it at night with the lights out, which I did, and it was still a little bit hard to see, but still, I still liked how it looked. It was, oh shit, sorry. It was just, like I said, it was just the editing I wasn't really into, but I thought it looked pretty cool. but yeah, and that was one of the things that sold me on wanting to watch this movie because the way it looked and this clip that I saw, which was actually the clip of Cillian Murphy walking through town and stuff. That was like the only thing I seen from this film was just a clip of that. And just by watching that, I was like, whoa, this looks pretty cool. Um, so, so yeah, I really liked the cinematography, how it looked, and the performances are great, like I said, except for Megan Byrne. She was a little off. But everyone else, Cillian Murphy, Naomi Harris, and Brendan Gleeson, they were all really good. I really liked their performances. Even the characters were pretty good, I thought. Yeah, Cillian Murphy was probably the best one, I thought, as Jim, the main character. But yeah, and I really liked Naomi Harris too. Like she was a pretty cool character. Her Selena was her name. She was a really cool character. And another big positive I have for this film, I really liked the music for it. I really liked the soundtrack. I mean, I think it was all just like, I mean, not really like a soundtrack, but it was like, I mean, there might have been some licensed music, but it was mostly just like score. But it was like done, like with guitars and drums and stuff, and bass and all that. Just like a kind of like it had like an indie rock kind of, some of it kind of had like an indie rock kind of lo-fi indie rock kind of flavor to it. And I really liked that. I thought that was cool. And plus I like that kind of music anyways, So yeah, I really liked the music for this film. That was one of my favorite things about it. And can't really think of what else. Well, I guess the story. The story is really good, but I can't really say a lot that has to do with the story without spoiling. But like I said, though, I like the idea that it focuses more on the characters more than the zombies. I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, I can't really say a whole lot without spoiling. So, just go watch this movie if you haven't already. I do recommend it. This is a very good zombie film and a very good horror film, which is, this is coming from someone who's not a big fan of horror films, but just as a film in general, it's really good. It's not perfect, but it's still, for what it is, it's still really good. It's still a really good film, really good horror film, really good. I would probably say the best, like I said in the intro, even the best zombie film I have ever seen, without a doubt. So yeah, so if you haven't seen 28 Days Later, I highly recommend it. Go check it out. I know there's a sequel to it called 28 Weeks Later, but I don't know if I want to watch it or not. Like, maybe I will, and maybe I'll review it, but I don't think I'll like it. Like, because I was looking at it and I noticed that it might be a spoiler, but I noticed that it doesn't continue from the story. Like, it doesn't have the same characters and stuff, and I thought that was kind of a little bit disappointing. I think Jeremy Renner is in the movie, and he's alright, but I don't know if I'll watch it. I mean, I don't know if I'll like it. I might watch it. If you think that's worth watching and even worth reviewing, let me know down in the comments, and I might check it out. I don't know if I will, like, this month. I mean, maybe we'll see, but if you think it is worth watching and reviewing, let me know down in the comments and I'll check it out. But anyways, yeah, I really enjoyed 28 Days Later, so I'm going to go ahead and give it its grade. I'm going to give 28 Days Later, I'm going to give it a B. I really liked it. Even better than the last movie I reviewed, Children of Men. I actually liked it even better than that. I gave that a B minus. I'm giving 28 Days Later a B. I thought it was a really good horror film and a really good zombie film. Like I said, the best zombie film I have ever seen. So 28 Days Later gets a B. Yeah, really good. All right, there we go. There's my review for 28 Days Later. So in the comments, tell me, have you seen 28 Days Later? Have you not? Also, What's your favorite Danny Boyle film? For me, of course, it's Train Spotting. But I still haven't seen a whole lot of his films. But Train Spotting's so good. If you haven't seen Train Spotting, go check that movie out. So good. Also, what's your favorite zombie movie? And this is probably it for me. But yeah, what's your favorite zombie movie? Yeah. All right. So please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I'll see you. I'll see you next time. My my part 2 of my top 20 favorite movies of the 2000s. So yeah, all right. I'll see you then. Okay. Peace.